What's up mga chong? Welcome sa pangatlong installment ng ating used car buying tips. At ngayon, pag-uusapan naman natin yung mga bagay na kailangan mong i-check habang stationary ang sasakyan, habang andun siya nakapark sa garage o sa garahe ng owner ng pagbibilan mo ng sasakyan. Okay? Dun sa naunang dalawa, natutunan na natin kung ano nga ba mga classification ng sasakyan, yung mga categories nila, right? Alam na rin natin, na-share ko na rin kung ano yung mga red flags na kailangan mong iwasan para hindi ka maloko, correct? Marami kasing sellers dyan, alam mo na, basta makapagbenta lang ng unit, mangloloko yan ng mga buyers, especially yung mga baguhan sa market. Alam nyo, ang used car, magandang market yan eh. You can really buy a really good car for a lot less if you know what you're doing, right? So, ideally, what are the things that you would want to inspect habang nakapark pa lang dun sa pagbibilan mo yung sasakyan? Unang ginagawa ko pagkarating ko dun sa bahay ng owner ng pagbibilan ko ay chine-check ko yung floor. Unusual, right? Wala sa kotse yung tinitignan ko agad. Because the floor could tell me a lot of stories. Yung leaks, may patch ba ng oil dun sa sahig? Especially kung saan siya nagpa-park, silip ka lang sa ilalim. Most likely, may makikita ka. And if you see a patch of oil sa sahig, tingin ka na sa ilalim. Find a spot na basa. Oh, by the way, yung oras din ng pagpunta mo, right? I prefer going to a seller's house umaga. As in maaga, mga 6:30 ng umaga kung hindi naman nabala sa kanila. Because by then, sigurado hindi pa na-prep yung sasakyan, hindi nila na-start, hindi nila napainit. And that's a great time para makita mo kung nag-leak ba yung sasakyan overnight, kung nilinis ba nila yon the day before. It would have accumulated a leak again kung nilinis man nila, kung may tinatago sila. Yun. So the timing in the floor could tell you a lot of stories. Tapos, pag nakita mo na kung ano yung part na basa, halimbawa sa differential, may mga ano dyan, may mga patch ng oil, it doesn't necessarily mean na basura na yung bibilin mo. It could be leveraged for you para tumawad. Kasi kung gustong gusto mo yung unit, pasok naman sa budget mo, at hindi naman ganun ka mahal ang aabutin ng price. Of course, it comes with researching. Kung alam mo kung magkano ang presyo ng pagagawa mo, then go. If you know you can afford it, why not, right? Next thing that I would want to look out, just going around the vehicle. Syempre, dapat by this point, natanong mo na kung may structural damage ba. If the owner is not honest with you, makikita mo naman eh. You would see some inconsistency sa panel gaps. Nandiyan na rin yung method ng katok-katok. Kasi, pag kinatok mo ang fresh na lata ng sasakyan, yung body, you would know the distinct sound na, uy, lata nga yung kinakatok ko. But if something sounds a little bit too hard, most likely, chong, filler yun. Ano ba yung filler? Yung ano yun, yung masilya. Most likely may bangga na yun. And makikita mo rin naman sa pintura, more often than not, yung mga may bangga or yung mga may structural damage, medyo shady yung pagkakakulay. Although may mga pintor na magaling ha, sobrang hindi mo na makahalata yun. But yeah, those are good ways to find out. Mga katok-katok na yan, there's nothing bad about it. Huwag mo lang kakatokin na sobrang banging on it, right? Just tamang katok-katok lang habang umiikot ka. And it's also a good timing na rin para silipin mo yung mga clips sa mga body panel, sa kambol ng gulong, para makita mo lang kung kumpleto ba. Wala bang mga naka-zip tie dyan, mga botch work. You don't want that as much as possible, right? That's one thing to check. Tapos hiramin mo na rin yung susi sa owner. If you have the key fob na may automatic remote built-in or yung naka-separate sa susi, you might want to test it out. Check mo kung nag-unlock ba lahat ng pinto upon pressing it, and then kung naglalak din ba lahat, kasi it's for your security, right? You want to leave your car secure na lahat, isang pinto mo lang nakalock agad. And once you get in dun sa kotse, it's the perfect time to snoop around dun sa mga interior pieces niya, right? Kumpleto ba? Madumi ba? Ako nga inaamoy ko pa eh, nasukahan ba? Kasi those things sometimes are really hard to eliminate. Alam mo naman, may mga tao talaga mahiluin sa biyahe, kung minsan yung mga bata nasusuka sa loob. As much as possible, I still pursue dun sa sales, pero tatawad na ako ng malaki kay seller dyan. Kasi detailing, takes time, it takes some skills. Kung hindi mo kaya mag-detailing, magbabayad ka ng ibang tao, right? Yun, snoop around the interior. Ako hanggat maaari kahit basura yung infotainment system niyan, katulad nitong sa NV350 Premium namin, as much as possible gusto ko sana yung stock pa rin na componentry, yung mga infotainment na yan, yung stereo, because it's still worth a lot in the second hand market kesa yung mga modified. I am not keen into buying into that, pero iba-iba naman tayo ng preference. Baka gusto mo naka-customize ng mags or whatever, go for it by all means, but I'm just telling you, in the used car market, mas may value ang all stock, okay? Kasi all stock, at least alam mo, inalagaan yung mga original parts ng sasakyan. Let's move on now. Nakaupo ka na sa driver's seat, let's say, hawak mo yung susi. You might want to turn on the ignition. I-on mo lang pero huwag mo muna start yung makina. Check for the lights, the warning lights. See what would linger around. Tignan mo kung may pundido ba dun sa mga ilaw sa dashboard, and if something is blinking, if something lingers around, yung ayaw mawala agad, that's the perfect time to ask the owner about it. Kung hindi ka familiar dun sa icon, kung may internet access ka, check mo na lang, and then you ask the owner about it. If the owner has no idea, for real tanong-tanong ka na sa mga pagawaan muna bago mo bilhin, so you'll have an idea of the pricing. And then kung alam naman ni owner yung issue pero tinatago niya lang sa'yo, you better think twice, right? Ano pang tinatago niya sa'yo bukod doon? Ano pa mga bagay na hindi niya sinasabi? And as you investigate, pagka-start mo ng sasakyan, hanggat maaari, taking a step back, you ask the owner not to start the vehicle before you arrive. Few hours, basta matagal, dapat naka-stationary lang siya. Because the cold crank starting would tell you a lot of stories then. Especially sa klima natin dito sa Pilipinas, mainit, a lot of batteries are being shortened yung lifespan nila. Ask me how I know. Biktima ako nun just the other week, nagpalit tayo ng battery, right? Kasi may mga sasakyan na yung design ng battery nila, tulad na lang nitong NV350 Premium at most vans, yung battery masyadong malapit sa engine, and engine heat would soak up into the battery, shortening their lifespan. So check mo yun, start mo, one click dapat, hindi dapat unusual yung sound ng makina as it cranks up. At kung medyo nahihirapan mag-start, it's a good time para tanungin yung owner kung ilang taon na ba yung battery, may electrical issues ba siya na iniinda or binabantayan dun sa sasakyan. Kaya mas preferable na cold cranking, yung hindi pa winarm up yung sasakyan. Ikaw dapat yung una mag-i-start pagdating mo doon. Ngayon, habang naka-start na yung sasakyan, medyo i-rev-rev mo, pero be courteous naman dun sa may-ari. Huwag mong i-rev na red line. I mean, yung makinig ka lang kung may unusual, umuuntog, parang umuuntog na sensation, ganyan. Because it could indicate a bad transmission support or engine mount, yung mga ganyan. You could hear that upon revving it gently habang nakapark pa yung sasakyan. And then you might want to step out of the vehicle, listen for some unusual clicking, some noises sa engine bay. If everything hums quite smoothly, most probably healthy yung makina. When you step out, tapos pakinggan mo na rin yung aux fan pag ilang minuto nang umaandar yung sasakyan, pag naka-aircon siya. It should be running intermittently sa mga bagong sasakyan. Sa mga lumang sasakyan, may mga continuous yung takbo ng fan sa engine bay, right? So yun, it's very vital because that's cooling ng sasakyan. You don't want a vehicle that overheats pagka na-stuck ka sa traffic or pagka umaahon ka. I think this is one of the frustrations ko talaga nung mga time nakalakasan ko sa buy and sell. Ang daming mga sasakyan nag-overheat. Hindi ko agad nahuhuli yung mga ganong sakit. But now I've learned. That's why I'm sharing this to you, para makaiwas kayo from a lot of frustration, right? Nakakainis ka pagka nag-overheat ka sa traffic. While the air conditioning is turned on, pagbalik mo sa kotse, tignan mo. Remember, stationary ka pa lang ha. Dapat lumalamig siya kahit stationary. That could indicate a very healthy air conditioning system. Yung ibang sasakyan kasi pagka nasira yung isang component ng air conditioning, let's not get too specific about the componentry kasi medyo hindi ko rin kabisado on top of my head. Pag may sira dyan, yung iba lumalamig lang pag umaandar ka. It's no good, mahal ang mga air conditioning components. If you try to have it fixed, gagastos ka dyan. Kung sira yung aircon, makita mo or sinabi talaga sa yung owner, mas maganda kung sabihin niya, tumawad ka na. Kasi you would really spend some money lalo pagka compressor pa yung sira. Are we cool with that? Air conditioning? Cool talaga yun. Ngayon, umiinit na yung sasakyan as we get by this point. Na-start mo na, di ba? Tinitignan mo na yung aircon. Nakita mo na yung loob, kompleto ba yung sidings, yung lahat. Silip ka naman siguro sa ilalim. Okay? Check for under chassis rust. I-sway mo side to side yung kotse. May maririnig ka bang unusual na sound, creaking. This is one critical din kasi under chassis components are expensive. Maraming car owner medyo neglected yan. Kasi alam nyo, ang isang kalawang sa sasakyan, let's say sa under chassis, pag napabayaan mo yan, lumalaki yan, it multiplies. The rust is, lumalaki talaga siya at mahirap siyang pigilin pag malala na. You don't want a vehicle na may kalakalawang kasi mahirap siyang gamutin, magastos. Sa suspension, pag may naririnig kayong something creaking, pag inaalog mo side to side yung sasakyan, it's nothing that can't be fixed usually. Pagka mga ganun, pwedeng mga tie rod lang, some suspension components, magagawa naman, but again, gagastos ka eh. Yun naman ang point ng video na to spare you from a lot of frustrations and expenses. Kasi buying a car could be expensive na nga eh. Gagastos ka na dyan eh. You want to save yourself from another set of expenses for the fixes, right? That's a good time na rin para silipin mo yung gulong. May mga curb marks ba? Yung mga gasgas na nagagater yung gulong. Because ang kotse na madalas magater, believe me, may hit yan sa kanyang alignment. It's nothing that can be fixed, pero ang may gasgas na rin medyo hindi maganda tignan aesthetically. Hanggat maaari, you want a perfect rim. Yung sidewall ng gulong, tignan mo na rin, hindi pa nakakalbo kasi ayaw mo naman masabugan ng gulong habang umaandar ka, right? So yung production date ng sasakyan, actually iniisip ko gumawa rin ito. This merits another video. After ng series na to siguro, pag-usapan natin yung mga bagay na kailangan mong i-check sa gulong ng sasakyan. Kasi marami yan. Production date, sizing, load capacity, the speed wherein it's designed for. Yun, yung mga bagay na yun. It's too much information para isiksik pa dito. But yeah, yung production date lang, it's good to know na bago-bago pa siya kasi na-expire ang gulong. It's also good kung pare-parehong brand yung mga nakakabit dun sa sasakyan na bibilin mo, right? So kung ako tatanungin, mas gusto ko rin nga kung naka-stock na rims. Kasi kung gusto mo siya pormahan, pwede mong itago yung stock na set of wheels, ibalik mo na lang pag ibebenta mo na siya. It will be worth a little bit more, correct? That's about it sa mga kailangan mong i-check while the vehicle is stationary. On the next episode na gagawin natin, we will talk about the things that you should check pagka nag-test drive ka na. Again, hanggat maaari maaga ko pumunta para ikaw yung una mag-i-start ng kotse. Check mo yung mga leaks, kumpleto ba yung interior panels, yung mga interior pieces, walang kalawang hanggat maaari. Yung gulong hanggat maaari, wala ring tama sa mga gutter. Tapos yung katok-katok method, yan, huwag kayong mahihiyang kumatok pagka bibiligay ng sasakyan because really, it could uncover a lot of stories. May mga owner dyan na pag kinakatok na yung sasakyan, siya na puso magkukwento, nabangga yan, mga ganyan. Ayun, lumalabas ng kusa yan more often than you think. Yeah, thanks for joining me on this another installment ng ating used car buying tips. Stay tuned for more. Malapit na ako sa pupuntahan ko. Magkikita kami nung ka-meeting ko for, some business stuff. And thanks for joining me today. This has been your Garage King. As usual, you drive safe. Cool. Ciao.